as a free agent prior to the 2011 season. Crawford admitted numerous times this summer that surgery was inevitable, but he attempted to play through the pain until his symptoms began to worsen. And that's what a lot of athletes do. They feel pain. They think that's going to go away if you just ice it and care for it very carefully. But you don't need surgery. But if it worsens, you have to have surgery. It's pretty much the only option that Crawford really had in this decision. A UCL. UCL is probably one of the most important ligaments in your elbow, especially for a baseball player, especially for a pitcher. Unfortunately for the Red Sox, that the money is continual is keeping on. It's not doing so well. The money is getting wasted, and Crawford is probably liking it a little bit, mainly because he's getting free money for not really doing a lot. So I actually exceeded the little break time that we had. We're going to go on commercial break once again. We'll have one more before we'll end the show. We're going to be going back one more time to the Red Sox. We'll be talking about the pitching coach who got fired for the Red Sox, Bob McClure. We'll be going to the AL West to the Oakland Athletics. Brett Anderson, he's going to be coming back soon. Placido Polanco in the NL East with the Phillies. He's coming back. Then we'll be talking about the Little League World Series, a no-hitter and a walk-off from California. We'll be back very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss out. Don't change the channel. This is Team's All Out Baseball Show. Hey, that music means that I'm back on after the 30-second little break that we had. Welcome back to Team's All Out Baseball Show. Thank you for continuing the support. I'm really happy to give you the latest headlines around all of baseball. If it's the major leagues, if it's the independent league, or if it's the Little League World Series, I'm very happy to be a part of what's really becoming a progression for being a part of the National Sports Talk Radio Show. We have very special people that are hosting these shows, and thank you very much for continuing the support. Thank you, everybody, very much. So let's talk about Boston Red Sox baseball one more time, very quickly, as the Boston Red Sox pitching coach, Bob McClure, has been fired. Red Sox obviously not doing well. They're in fourth in the AL East, ahead of the Blue Jays, team that you don't really want to be on. The Red Sox rank 11th in the American League in ERA with a 4.31. The starters' ERA is combined to be a 4.82 ERA. That's unfortunate for the Red Sox pitching staff, as their offense looks pretty good, to be honest. Their offense still looks fine. You got Ortiz, Ellsbury, Pedroia, Gonzalez. They still have an offense, but the reason why they keep on losing, sometimes it's the defense, but most of the time it's the pitching. Look at the ERA. I just told you, 4.82 combined ERA for the starters. That is not a good way to really have your team be in if you really want to make the playoffs. Bobby Valentine. The team said Monday that assistant pitching coach Randy Neiman will serve the role of pitching coach for the rest of the season. The GM for the Red Sox, Ben Cherington, said the decision to fire McClure of his duties for the remainder of the season was mainly because of the performance base for the performance that the pitchers were giving to the executives, and he had nothing to do with a relationship with McClure and Bobby Valentine. which reportedly was not really that good. Neiman, this will be his fourth. He'll be the fourth Red Sox pitching coach since 2010, following John Farrell, Kurt Young, and then just right now Bob McClure. The Red Sox hired McClure as a special assistant for the organization last November before Valentine was named manager. But a month later, when Valentine got the manager spot, he did name him to pitching coach. He spent the previous 6 seasons as a pitching coach for the Kansas City Royals. Randy Neiman, also in his first year with the Red Sox, was one of the 2 hires made by Valentine for his coaching staff. The third base coach for the Red Sox, Jerry Royster, was the other. Neiman also served under Valentine while he was manager of the New York Mets, back when the Mets were very good in 2000 when they made the World Series, eventually losing to the crosstown subway rival, the Yankees. So enough about the Red Sox, enough about the Yankees. I'm sick and tired of talking about that. Let's make it a little bit crazy. Let's talk about the A's. Let's talk about Brett Anderson. Brett Anderson is back from Tommy John replacement surgery, and he's set to make a season debut tomorrow night against the Twins. Brett Anderson, the left-hander, was activated from the 60-day DL Monday. He's ready to pitch in the major leagues again for the first time since undergoing the surgery a year and 1 month ago. Anderson said, quote, "You just got to go out there and be a competitive player and be a competitive person. You can't go out there and worry about mechanics and can't go out there and worry about your elbow," end quote. Since Brett Anderson is coming back onto the team, Oakland option right-hander Dan Straley back to AAA Sacramento for the Rivercats and cleared room on the 40-man roster for Anderson by designating catcher Anthony Record for assignment. The 24-year-old Anderson has lost more than 20 pounds from his period of previous playing weight of 248, so he is 228, nice and slim. And he's noticed that he's felt stronger late in games during his minor league rehab appearances. He's eager to get back into his regular routine, preparing for starts in every 5th day. That's what he is most used to, not the long process of rehab and physical therapy that has defined his life over the last year and a month. So Anderson, a second-round pick by the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2006, went 7-6 with a 2.80 ERA and 19 starts during 2010. Last year, he went 3-6 with a 4.00 ERA and 13 starts before having surgery on his elbow. He hasn't pitched in the major league since June 5th of 2011 at Boston. Anderson probably won't go further than about 100 pitches initially, though he showed no signs of fatigue or problems during his 6-start rehab schedule with Class A Stockton and AAA Sacramento. Anderson will try to get his first major league victory since May 26th of 2011 at Los Angeles while playing the Los Angeles Angels. This is what manager Bob Melvin said of Anderson, quote, "He has thrown up to 90-something pitches and been down through the full complement. His bullpen was great the other day. We feel like this could be a nice little shot in the arm for us," end quote. Let's get this thing back to. Anderson is probably going to really help the A's rotation, as the A's are a contender for a playoff spot for the wild card, and the A's, watch out for them if they make a push for a better push for the playoffs. You got Josh Reddick, who has been supplying a lot of the power, really being a good replacement for Josh Willingham, who went to the Twins during the offseason. So, guys, if you guys want to ask any questions, please contact me. My number is 650-315-6543. Text me. Please state your name on the text, and then after stating your name, Please put in your question. I really like to answer some questions right now as we're getting to the time of the show where, you know, um, topics are starting to get a little bit uninterest and a little bit boring. But I say, then let's go to the fans. Let's go to the people that want to hear what my opinion is. I want to hear what your opinion is. So Brett Anderson, that's going to be a great pickup for the A's. Placido Polanco, remember him? He was one of those guys that didn't get traded during the trade deadline, mainly because he was injured. Polanco was activated from the DL, and then the Phillies had to send down Hector Luna to AAA Lehigh Valley. Polanco, who has been sidelined with a lower back inflammation since July 23rd, was in the starting lineup tonight against Cincinnati and was batting 7th in the lineup. Polanco, he is batting .225 with 2 home runs, 19 RBIs on the season. Kevin Frandsen, remember him, Giants fans? Kevin Frandsen, the infielder, he started 20 games in Polanco's absence, and he's hitting .329 with a homer and 6 RBIs. So let's go, unfortunately, back to the Yankees. New York Yankees first baseman Mark Teixeira, the Teixeira man, sending a text message to right field, whatever the Yankees guys say, which is kind of funny because he always says that. Mark Teixeira returned to the New York Yankees lineup Monday night after missing 3 games over the weekend with soreness and inflammation in his left wrist. Teixeira batted cleanup and played first base in the opener of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Chicago White Sox at U.S. Cellular Field. He went 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs in the loss tonight to the White Sox. The final score was 9-6. Speaking of that score, I'll be giving you all the scores from tonight, give you a look back on the standings, and give you what I think should be key factors for some teams that are looking to make the playoffs. The Sierra first injured the wrist that has had soreness and inflammation on a swing and miss in a game against the Red Sox in late July, so this has been bothering him for a little while. He's missed 2 games after receiving a cortisone shot on July 31st. Teixeira played 14 games in a row, unfortunately, before being removed from the lineup on Friday night before the Red Sox game at Yankee Stadium, and wound up sitting the whole series. Joe Girardi said, quote, "He said he's ready to go and feels good, so we're putting him out there tonight." And we have our first question in this part of the show, and I call it the third part of the show. His name is Robert Zandino. His question is, do the Yankees suck? And that's a little bit of comedy right there. It's a little bit of sense of humor from Robert Zandino. Do the Yankees suck? And the Yankees are a very good team. They have a lot. They're like the Rangers. They're very stacked on the offensive portion, and I think the Yankees with Curtis Granderson. He might. Curtis Granderson is having a great year, and some people are saying he's not having a good year at all. So a little bit weird that people are saying that, but it's their opinion, and sometimes it's kind of stupid. And then you got A-Rod, who's obviously having a down year again. He's getting injured and all that stuff. Jeter, he's really he's getting mostly publicity, mainly because he's getting up there in the home runs list, and so on and so forth. One more question before we go to our last commercial break. What does Brett Anderson bring to the A's? That's a question from Curtis Lim. Curtis Lim, thank you for answering that question. He looks like a Bay Area because he's asking what does Brett Anderson bring to the A's? Brett Anderson is bringing an ace to the A's. He is Brett Anderson, in my opinion, is an ace pitcher for the A's. He's not. If he goes to another team like, let's say, the Pirates or let's say the Reds, on those teams, he's not an ace really. He's a good left-handed hitter, pitcher. Pardon me.